First one, we invest into our people, and we recognize a few new coaches, and we qualify them, and we finish off the culture training, and we finish the BSI story training. Considering our region has 1,300 people, this is not an easy job to be done. So a great congratulations to every one of you as well. And organizational development, of course. We when we were asking people about the feeding for this year, this is a bit of a different story to tell, because we have ANZ under complete reorg, right? Now we're having Greater China having the complete reorg as well. So hopefully, after the reorganization, we can gain again, the productivity and recognition of the team members, and we will allow more junior people to be promoted to a senior position. And we have also launched the People Evolution New Mailbox program that is chaired by the People's team. And we just talked about the successful launch of the Sales Hub as part of the reorg efforts. And going into DE&I, the second year for Japan to maintain the Yomushi status. Congratulations, Masaki. And also in ANZ, we conducted the RAP, right? The Reconciliation Action Plan for Aboriginals and the islanders in terms of living up their shortening their gaps of the living standards versus others. So it's a bit of a commitment to the society.
Multiple quizzing we've got going on here. So Michael covered some of the high-level financials there for 2023. I'm going to do a little bit more on the financials for 2023, and we're showing comparisons now to F3. Then I'm also going to cover where we finished with the financial plan for 2024, just give a high level of where that was. There were some very late adjustments that just took our numbers down a little bit, so they're not reflected in these, but we're talking less than £150,000 for Apac, so quite a small adjustment. And then I'm going to finish with a little bit of storytelling, but looking at pricing and how our average day rates are moving, and focusing a case study just on 3 countries within Apac. And Peter will finish that with a little bit of discussion of what Taiwan did to achieve such a remarkable improvement in their average day rate. So this, which we normally open with, is not purely assurance. This is all divisions, and we're looking at 10 months here. This screen is fantastic, Emil. It's unbelievably clear. So this is 10 months, with 2 months to go here. And as I mentioned, we've got F3 in this now. We hadn't reported against F3 until this for the October results. So there's not going to be much deviation from F3, because that's 9 months of actual plus 1 month of forecast. So as you'd expect there, a very small deviation. And then we've got financial plan 2023 and the prior year. So the key at the top, we're still showing a modest lift in our sales above budget and prior year, not as spectacular as we were at the halfway mark. So the sales have definitely trailed off in the last 4 months from July through to October. We've got pockets of strength though, as I've put on the bottom there. We've still got strong system cert sales in Japan, Taiwan and Korea. Training, Michael's mentioned some of the unravelling that's happened in China. However, we had exceptionally strong sales, we're talking about here, still in Taiwan and Korea. Taiwan, when I get to it later, it's actually selling now in training quite unusually. It's going to deliver base load for 2024. So we don't normally, most of the time with sales and training, it's sell it and deliver it a month later, but we've got actually got a base load in our training for the first time now, which sort of...
Yeah, I think inflation from last year is a reasonable timing for price increasing. So I would like to share 3 key points we practice in Taiwan. The first, so in no slide. First thing is product strategy. Do you remember last Q4 meeting in Bangkok? I shared the long tail theory. Yeah, because we have the main body revenue from traditional products such as ISO 9000, 40,000, 45,000, but the price is maturing, so it's difficult to increase the price. So we need to continue to have new products, such as in line with the global strategy and the mega trend in the market, including the digital trust and the sustainability, and the faster to market, first to market. So we have established a good market position from new product. This is the first one. If we have no such background, we are difficult to increase the price. The second one is a flexible approach.
So starting from something really exciting in this year, which we identify some key areas we want to make changes, like product sustainability. We have the launch of the carbon neutral product mark from this March, and we have very exciting wins in Great China, in Hong Kong, in China mainland, and we have also have the Yuantai Bank, the credit card in Taiwan as well. We have lots of the pipelines sitting now in our Salesforce.com for the carbon neutral card mark. And also we sort out and realign the strategy to combine the product carbon footprint in the product certification. And I see there's a lot of opportunity coming from the market. And second is about the digital and connected. We're very exciting breakthrough in the product IoT cybersecurity. This is driven by the UK regulation and the coming more and more strict in Europe for the cybersecurity in the products. So we have breakthrough in Korea and Japan for the the big names in LG and Panasonic. So well done, team.
That's a very important chart, right? Because Michael always say to show our ambitions. So from here, right, one of the key questions is, what is the contribution of Apac training revenue globally? From this part, we can see Apac right now, despite all this happening this year, right, we are still staying at 41%, which is reasonable contribution. In fact, it's the largest contribution. It's a drop from last year, 44, because we have seen the other region have also progressed well. But nevertheless, it's 41%. So congratulations to all of us for doing a great job in holding the fort for training business, right? So you can see we are hovering 42, 44, 46, 46, 44, and of course for next year financial planning, we remain at that more than 40%, which is 42%. So let's continue to hold the fort. And the second famous Michael Lam chart is to look into from Apac perspective. All right. The first chart is where we are global. The second chart is where we are within Apac point of view.
What went well? So Adrian has shared just now that our financials has been doing very good for system certification. For this year, we're expected to end with upside of 5.5 million GBP just now for system cert. The number of delivery days also has grown, about 10,000 days from last year, and we are actually doing much better in terms of profitability. Sustainability and digital trust, we actually started off the year with an aggressive target, and we are seeing just now sustainability, we are able to achieve almost that 31% growth. And for digital trust, still a growth nonetheless at 11%, although we set it at 17%. Again, good robust price increase in some of the major markets, Taiwan especially. We see just now how they've gone with a very aggressive price rise. Hybrid audit has been the essence of our business ever since the start of COVID, but we formalized it this year with the launch of the hybrid audit program rollout. So we are actually tracking those rollout through the training for now, and we will see that be another strategic priorities for next year.
This morning, several people mentioned sustainability business grow very quickly, right? So I think grow very quickly is an understatement. I think, sustainability business nowadays is like gold rush, okay? So we need to be quick, nimble, and ambitious. Otherwise, we don't take the gold, others will. So that's my, I think the opening for my conversation. So the key word is to be a bit more ambitious. I think unlike other areas, sustainability solutions are diverse. It's bad news and good news. It's good and bad. The bad thing is that we have to spend a lot of time, efforts to learn, to develop solutions, right? But the good thing is you may always find yourself in blue ocean. Always find yourself in blue ocean. Meaning we could charge a higher rate, day rate, right? So because it's blue ocean, it's quite new, brand new, so we can always charge higher day rate. Every year, there's a new wave of sustainability topics. Right? I will recap with you in the year of 2023. We have many things to happen. We have many things happen, right? So I think it's like surfing. Let's stay on the top of the wave and enjoy the game, okay?
Looked at the great results we had in 2023, the great results in system certifications, the great results that we had in all the aspects of revenue, contributions, gross margins, but also the improvement we need to make with regards to trainings and the aspects of productivity. So for today, we are going to be focusing, as Masaki explained yesterday night, we're going to be focusing on 2024. So we're going to be hearing from all our colleagues in the sectors and domains and legal about what we are going to be doing in 2024. From the hazard of scheduling, I am the first to present, so I will invite myself to get on the stage.
These were some of the findings. So some of these were internal feedback that we had on why the quote preparation was a pain point. Salespeople, this was presented about June last year, so this is a bit of a repeat of things that we looked at in the middle of last year. Salespeople taking too long to prepare SFTC quotes, insufficient data in quotes makes it difficult for the CSOs to then set up the clients in SAP and PG. Difficult for smaller countries to have the diversity of C codes, so salespeople are required to have C codes in order to generate a quote, but with the huge range of products we've got, it's often difficult to have C codes for all your team. Salespeople taking shortcuts in quotes preparation, and then we're obviously discovering those shortcuts when we go to schedule jobs and we might have understated the duration. SFTC quotes are complex and time consuming, particularly when they're multi-site and multi-scheme. And due to no interfaces between systems, there's a significant amount of manual work between sales and ops with Close One, and that's something that we're looking at a later stage. We're not doing that in the Sales Hub right at the moment. And the final point there, all of the above points to a slowdown in the quote process, and that reduces the sales efficiency, as I mentioned.
So just quickly, the reason I wanted to put the slide up here is because this is really the products in the market and it's available to consume right now. So in the pharma space, we've got two specific opportunities that we should really look to leverage. One is the PSCI opportunity, and the other one is the AMR certification opportunity. So I'm just going to go specifically into those two areas and just highlight why it's important for us and what the opportunity is we have in that space. So AMR, no surprises, is the top 10 global health issue. It is absolutely been a really long process, and Courtney's driven this really well with the pharmaceutical industry as well as the AMR Alliance. The focus here is obviously on the in the AMR audit program, which is essentially a private standard. We have now launched AMR Kite Mark, which is product certification, and then obviously we can offer AMR external training. The markets in the Apac region that this is really targeted at are China, because between India and China, 90% of the API for pharmaceuticals is sourced from those countries. So there's a huge opportunity in terms of this work in China, and then obviously Japan, there is some opportunity in that space as well. So,
well, as Asian, we love our food. Some of us eat our food as a pleasure. Some other people in some other countries, they eat food to stay alive. Just like healthcare and food, it's two of the most important factors for human beings to stay alive, right? So we need to support these two important industries. And as a purpose-led organization, it's important for us to really support this industry, not only to help the people, but also, to make them to stay alive. Anyway, all right. So let's start my presentation. I have 4 different agenda here. One is a food and retail update. So here I'm going to share about the food and retail industry, market trends, and also looking at our food and BSI food and retail solution trends.
So now we are going to look at the future, at the priorities for 2024, starting with Asian, and I have broken it down into the different global thematic areas. The first one around digital transformation, BIM. BIM continues to be the focus, especially BIM Kite Mark. We see a lot of positive momentum across all the different countries. Even countries that were lagging behind before, like Thailand, we can really see a strong appetite from the market. So it's very positive. And that gives us a very good opportunity to cross-sell and to upsell with smart cities. There are a lot of talks in smart cities, a lot of potential in the region, especially with Singapore, that is really trying to be the lighthouse of the region when it comes to this topic. The growth of 19650 BIM has to be supported by what we call specifier engagement. So specifier as in the communities. So we need to use the communities as promoters of the standard, but also consultants. Very important to engage all the tier 1 consultants and designers that will put BIM 19650 in the specs. And also some of the government bodies or authorities, the like of BCA in Singapore, LTA, which is actually what you can see on the right-hand side. That is the Built Environment Industry Transition Map. I will not go through it, but it is very much aligned with our blue chips and our priorities with BIM, smart cities, and everything that we are trying to achieve.
So Michael's given us a good introduction, and I'm here today in a different capacity to what used to me being in. I think most people in the room are probably aware that I'm now working with the Greater China team, which has given me a great opportunity to collaborate with my now best friend over there, Jin Yang, or Evan, as we're now going to call him. This is much easier for me to pronounce. So great opportunity to collaborate with him with some of the work we're doing in the Greater Bay Area. But it's also been a fantastic opportunity for me to start to collaborate with some of our commercial team and some of our APAC team as well, around some of the work that we're doing with some of our global key accounts, our regional key accounts, and also some of our national accounts within China.
for the strategic one, so very clearly, as previously Majid also mentioned about like Pfizer or AstraZeneca, so this is an AMR, this is a huge potential, especially for their supply chain, right? So this is also going to be heavily linked with the Apac, like China, right? So like also potentially in Japan, the supply chain as well. If we look at the growth, what I just heard from Jonathan mentioned the NTT, right? So NTT nowadays still majority. We knew the huge potential is going to be in the overseas countries. If we look at the APAC, like Thailand, this is a heavily NTT projects landing in the ASEAN countries. This is a potential, also like America.
So let's take a few seconds, I will be quick, to look at the history, the kickoff meeting in 2021 when China team have this kickoff. So in Q1, they have we have defined the vision, which fuels the right KAs, and have the mission statement. And after that, Chris introduced the American team they did. We set up the virtual team.
So we would like to actually make sure that we keep pushing this effort to ensure that the growth will continue for next year. So 20% growth, I think is achievable target, as long as we actually putting a proper structure, proper framework in place, the processes are in place. So I think that's where I think everyone's support is needed.